Rated M for mature.
What's up, Capcom Unity? This is Gregoman reporting in for part 2 of our DmC Devil May Cry combat overview. Today I wanted to look at a little bit more of the advanced stuff you can do to really up your game, improve your style, and just stay alive longer. If you haven't checked out our first video yet, you can still check it out on the YouTube channel, Capcom Unity Videos. It gives a basic overview of the fundamental combat mechanics in the game. Definitely worth a look. I also want to give a quick thanks to Machinima, who has been helping promote this video, as well as the respective Devil May Cry communities of Capcom Unity and DevilMayCry.org, who have been super helpful in coming up with all these techniques. We've really learned a lot just from studying the demo we've put out there. So I wanted to talk about canceling and buffering. If you've been hanging out in Devil May Cry forums, you may have heard something about this. You may also know it from the previous games, or if you're a fighting game fan, you may have heard of these things. Canceling is basically when you do one attack or move or jump to cancel the animation frames of another move. You may notice that some of the attacks have longer animations, and this can be quite dangerous if you're stuck in an animation and another enemy comes to attack you. So you want to cancel out of those animations by doing a jump or an evade to get out. Here you'll see I'm using the evade cancel. I'm canceling the animation frames of my attacks by evading. This is a very safe way to deal with multiple enemies on screen at once. Although you have to watch out because you can't do it with some of the heavier attacks, so there's a bit of a risk-reward element involved. You can evade cancel out of your chargeable moves. An aerial evade will actually give you an extra beat of airtime, canceling out of your fall animation. Here you'll see I'm doing an air evade to stay in the air and continuously pummeling enemies back to the ground with my Erics. There's also jump canceling, which has gotten a little bit of buzz on the internet lately. This is where you jump in mid-air using the enemy step technique to cancel out of an animation. You can use this to do some really flashy attack patterns and repeat the same attack over and over and really up your style. Here you can see I'm not really doing it properly. I'm doing the jump cancel, but I'm not connecting with the attacks. I'm just spamming him with jumps. Now here I'm getting it about half the time. And here you can see I've got it almost perfectly. You'll see that I'm actually pressing the jump button after each time I connect with the sword. So it's attack, jump, attack, jump. I'm sort of piano keying the buttons. And you'll discover you can do this jump cancel technique with a variety of moves and weapons. It's good to experiment and see which moves are best to pull that off with. Even the shotgun can cancel into itself with certain moves. Now let's talk about buffering. Buffering is where you mask the input for a certain attack by doing another attack and letting that animation play out while you press the button for the next attack. If you've ever played Zangief from Street Fighter, then you're familiar with this. This is when you jump and then start performing the 360 motion with your fight stick, so that by the time he lands, you just have to press attack to do a spinning pile driver. Here you'll see that he's performing what we call hold moves, which is where you hold an attack button and then release to do the move. I'm actually masking that initial input of the move by doing other attacks over it. This is the raise. It's a hold move using your Osiris scythe. You also note that if you release the button with perfect timing, you do a powerful version of that move. And you can mask that initial input by starting the move while he's still doing the animation for a previous move. Here we see the ricochet, which is a hold move with your ebony and ivory, but you can start holding that fire button while doing other moves, and then finish a combo by releasing the fire button. Let's see that again. It's also important to be very aware of the positioning properties of your attacks. Here he's surrounded by many enemies, so he's doing a lot of 360 attacks with the Osiris, a lot of quick attacks with the Rebellion, and trying to stay airborne as much as possible so that they can't gang up on him. You can also use your ebony and ivory to trip up enemies when they're about to attack you. You'll see how the shots may not do a lot of damage on their own, but they're great for interrupting an enemy attack, especially when you're surrounded. The Achilles also has a great 360 attack, which is the Tornado, which is great for hitting enemies that are coming at you from all sides. You want to use linear attacks when you have enemies all lined up or in a clump, such as the Flush, which is an Arbiter move, or the Overdrive, which is a Rebellion move. And certain moves just have unique positioning properties that you want to take advantage of. Both the flush and the shotgun will relaunch an enemy that's already airborne, so you can actually combine the two to do some pretty impressive juggles. Meanwhile, this move from the Achilles will lock an enemy in place, which is great for crowd control, but you also notice that it nerfs some of your other moves, like you can't really do a demon pull after you do that move. And sometimes you can use the environment to your advantage. Here he's using the bottomless pit before him to make short work of the enemy. Here you'll see he's using moves that cause knockback to knock the enemies into these conveniently placed gears. And then there's a tilt-a-whirl. So there you have it, just a few advanced techniques to really get your combat skills up there and prevent you from dying. You can actually start practicing right now with the demo, which is available on PSN and Xbox Live already. And then by the time the game comes out on January 15th, you'll be an expert. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit us up on Capcom Unity for more information.